If you're anything like me, you love a good Donner product, and I haven't featured one on here in a little bit, just haven't really heard from them as of late. But that has changed because I do have another new Donner product to show you guys, and I'm super duper excited about this one. And it's right here, a big yellow and black box of joy, fitting in with part of the theme of my channel here. This is the Donner APL Acoustic Preamp Loop. So before we get into it, Donner is sponsoring this video, so thank you very much, Donner, for doing that and sending out the APL for us to check out together. There are links in the description as always, and if you use the code Flamingo at checkout, you can get yourself 15% off of this or any other Donner product that you would like on their website. So make sure you check that out, and also peep my new electric flamingo neon sign back there. So with all that being said, let's take a look at this thing, shall we? So let's go over what you get in the box really quickly. So first and foremost, you get your instruction manual, super important. Make sure you read that and learn how to properly use your unit. USB-C cable here, you have a 9-volt power supply, and then the unit itself, the Donner Acoustic APL. So just some first impressions straight out of the box. Nice build quality as you would expect from Donner. It's not super duper heavy, but it's got some heft to it, so they got that reassuring weight that shows that it is a quality product. It's got some little feet down here that got little rubber gripper feeling things on the back, so if you set it on the ground to use it, it's not going to be sliding around on you. This thing is great if you go out and you play your local open mic nights, you play those coffee shop gigs or whatever it is acoustic singer-songwriters do, but this is a great thing to have. Throw it in your bag, and it's off with you, ready to go. Now, this is also great for recording at home, which is obviously what I'm gonna be doing here, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna be doing that in just a second whenever we plug this thing in and actually start getting some tones out of it. But let's go over some of the features on this really quickly. We'll start at the back here. So input, plug in your guitar there. You have an aux port with a level to control the amount of source coming out of the aux. You have your headphones. That's pretty self-explanatory. Output here, so if you want to use a 1/4-inch cable or just an instrument cable out into whatever you need to get the sound to. Ground lift switch, you have a balanced XLR out, which is what we're going to be using when we plug it up here and get some sounds out of it here in just a second. USB port there, 9-volt power goes right there, and then you turn the unit on with that little flicky power switch. Then flipping over to the front, you have 3 buttons down here, 3 little foot switches. This engages your tuner. You press both of these to go into your bank up. This turns on your effects, so you can change your effects on the fly. Then you go these 2 to go bank down, and then this is your built-in looper. So you would press it to record, and then play, and then stop, and then you can clear it by holding it down, all that stuff. Going to this set of knobs here, you have a gain knob, a mix knob, an impact knob, and a range knob. So gain's pretty self-explanatory. Mix, impact, and range will control the parameters of all the effects once you start getting into those and applying those to your sound. You have a 3-band EQ down here on the bottom and a compressor knob, so you have full control over your tone. This little frosted button right here is a tap tempo, so you can use that to control the timing of your delay, your tremolo, or any of the other time-based effects that are built into the APL. Speaking of effects, you do have a nice selection of them. So this knob right here controls which effect you would like to use. There's also a button here. You have chorus, tremolo, phase, overdrive, interestingly enough, echo, hall reverb, plate reverb, and then down here at the bottom you have delay and reverb, which is essentially just the echo and the hall reverb together as one. And again, you control all of the amount of those effects and affect the other parameters using the mix, impact, and range knobs. Yeah, range knobs up here at the top. This yellow knob up here is your volume, and this one is your IR body because you have 6 IRs built into this thing, and they all sound fantastic. They all have their own unique applications to it, and they're all based off of some very popular acoustic guitars, which we'll explore all of those here again in just a second. Then you can turn those off. So if you have something like a separate IR pedal, or if you're using an IR loader in your DAW, you can feel free to turn that off and put your own IRs to use with the APL. So enough talking about it. Let's go and plug it in, see what this thing sounds like. All right, I believe I'm rolling on all things. If not, I'll figure it out later. But here we go. As you can tell, it's a couple days later. I've been very busy. We got the Donner Acoustic APL plugged up right now using, naturally, my Donner Hush, which you can pick one of these up down in the description as well if you want to go check that out. Again, code Flamingo at checkout for 15% off. So we kind of have everything here going. I'm going to minimize, or not minimize, put it in the middle, whatever word that means, equalize. I always figure it out later on. I'm going to equalize the EQ right now, so everything at noon. I do have the volume balance. We don't have any effects on there or anything. And then we do have the IR off as noted on the screen there. So you're just going to get like a natural kind of DI'd acoustic sound, which sounds like this. Which sounds pretty decent, right? And you notice right here too, this little bar, it's like a meter. So it tells you if you're too loud or whatever. Which it looks like I'm too loud on there now, but according to Reaper, I'm not peaking or anything. So that's good. We're gonna stay where we're at. But again, just plugging it straight in, it sounds pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and remember, I'm reading this upside down. Let's change the IR bodies here. So this one, it looks like we have a Martin D45 is number 1. I don't know about you, but that sounds so good to me. Sounds like an acoustic. I mean, it sounds really, really good. Number 2, naturally, we have a Taylor that looks like it says 614CE. Again, I'm reading these upside down, but and I'm not a big acoustic brand. I don't know a lot about acoustics, but this is a Taylor acoustic for you. To me, that sounds more like a parlor acoustic type deal, which is kind of cool. So it's like a smaller body type deal. Number 3 here, Gibson J45. I can read that one. Gibson J45. Really cool. I love how when you slide, like the finger noises on there. I mean, it sounds like a freaking, it just sounds really good. I like that a lot. I'm very impressed with it so far. Taylor 610. Let's play something a little different on here. Getting a little jazzy on the acoustic, but that sounds really good. I mean, I keep saying it, but it just, facts is facts, right? Gibson Hummingbird is what that looks like that's modeled after. Let's play that same kind of jazzy thing. I like that. I mean, it's what I've said before. It sounds really good. Classical. Looks like that's what that says. Classical. So maybe with a little bit of a nylon flair to it. Need a little bit of a setup on this thing. Yeah, but I mean, that sounds maybe not as much of what you would expect a like actual classical guitar to sound like, but I mean, just noodling around. I mean, can't complain. It doesn't sound bad. And then we're at the end of it. So you have 6 different choices there. And again, you can always turn it off and run your own IRs through a DAW, or if you have a separate pedal, like the Sonic Cake IR pedal, where you can load your own IRs to that. If you have some nice acoustic IRs, you can run it through that and do all this kind of stuff. But anyway, so there's that. The volume's right there. Let's go ahead and engage some of the effects. So again, you would press this middle button here, and that'll turn on the effects. Let's just go, let's put the, I really liked the 610, the Taylor 610. That was a pretty good one. So let's check out the chorus here. Again, these knobs up here will affect your the amount of it in here, but it's all equalized, so straight in the middle. Let's just see what it sounds like. I love chorus on an acoustic guitar. It just sounds so cool. Some tremolo here. Just trying to play some different stuff. But tremolo's cool. Phase. You got a little bit of a phase going on here. Leave me a comment and let me know who uses a phaser on an acoustic, because to my knowledge, I don't know if I've ever heard that, but it sounds cool. Now, if you turn the mix all the way up, I mean, it's going to get kind of crazy. Maybe not with the phaser. It seems like it just added more volume to it than anything. But again, I digress. The overdrive. This is the one that's kind of interesting on an acoustic. Not my favorite effect in there, but you have it available to you. Some echo. So for your nice ethereal ambient type stuff there. So here is our hall reverb for a little more ambiance. Now see, I think the mix will there you go. And then your gain, obviously, we haven't even messed with the gain yet. Gain does what gain does. Anyway, so we have our plate reverb, so a different type of reverb there. Ugh. I mean, very useful. I mean, and again, you have the mix to turn it down, so if you just want like a subtle kind of... This is how you would use reverb. That's the right way. Not that there's a right or wrong way, but you don't want too much reverb if you're just playing, unless that's your intent. And then you have the echo and hall. So this is essentially the echo and the hall reverb just combined. And then you see the light right there flashing, so if you wanted to change how fast it was, so you'll see it flashing now. So you have the tap tempo built in, which is cool. And then obviously if you mess around with your EQs and your compressor, I'm not really going to do all that because you guys know what that does. You have the benefit of that, plus in this case, the benefit of the 2-band EQ and the phase button on the Hush 1 up at the top, plus the volume to control it from here in case that's on the floor and you can't really do anything with that or anything. You have your anti-feedback button here, which is kind of cool. And then you have a looper, which we all know what a looper does. The looper's pretty responsive, and I like it. So this is perfect, again, for your coffee shop gigs or if you're playing your local open mic nights. Get you a Donner Hush 1, get you the Donner Acoustic APL pedal, and you are set to go. You could even get yourself the MT1 Bluetooth portable speaker thing, plug this into that, and you have a full, reliable Donner setup ready to go affordably. And you'll rock any open mic night that you go to or any coffee shop. I'm sure you'll drive a lot of business in instead of driving it out, which is what you're there to do. But with that being said, thank you very much, Donner, for continuing to support this channel, for sending out the Acoustic APL pedal. Again, there are links in the description if you want to check out any of the gear mentioned in this video. And if you use the code Flamingo at checkout, as always, you'll get 15% off your order and help support this channel. As always, my name is Jonathan. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe.